Just quick reminder, inshallah. Most of the time, Islam was spread not by having intellectual debating, right? So most of the time, as a matter of fact, a lot of in the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, a large group of people was following Islam, coming to the fold of Islam or converting into Islam because the lead by example of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, right? That's why Rasulullah was sent by Allah to become the Hasan Hasanah, the best example for all humankind. There's one particular story that may be related to that. So this is the time during the time of Hudaybiyah, the agreement Hudaybiyah, which is there should be no Muslim to do the pilgrimage or Umrah to Makkah. Alright, so there's the agreement between Rasulullah and the people of Quraysh. So, but there is one person that do the traveling into Makkah and then being intercepted by the people of the Muslim troops, right? The people that guard the border. So when this person and the group passing by, so they take this as a prisoner and bring to the front of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because if they're passing through Medina to Makkah, the people of Quraysh will think that this is the Muslim that breached the agreement of Hudaybiyah. So because of that, they take this person out and take to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and then they tie.
Dad?
He's parking right now.
Okay, alhamdulillah.
So without knowing anything about this person, so the Sahaba took this person into the masjid of Rasulullah and tied him in one of the pillar, right? So this is one of the lesson learned that we can take, that the non-Muslim actually can welcome in coming to the masjid. So they tied this person into the one of the pillar, and then they call Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and saying, we captured this prisoner because they're trying to go into Makkah through our passage, so we don't want to have a disagreement with the people of Quraysh. And then this is one of the mu'jizat of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that immediately Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam recognized this person, even though Rasulullah never met him, and saying that to the Sahaba, don't you know who this person is? And he is the leader of Bani
Yamamah.
Yamamah, yeah?
Yes.
Right? Bani Yamamah, who are the largest, the strongest tribe in the upper peninsula of Arabia, the Sham. Right? This is the largest. Right? You have the better army, they have very wealth and all those things. Right? So, and then he is the leader of his name is Umamah. What Bani Umamah, right?
Thumama.
Thumama, the name is?
His name Thumama.
Thumama, and that's from Bani Umamah.
Yamamah.
Yamamah. Right? So they tie this Thumama on the pillar without knowing that he is the like a kind of the king from this tribe. And then they tied him for 3 days. So they come, the first day Rasulullah was asking him, what do you want? Right? So some group of Sahaba was saying that we need to kill him. The other group of Sahaba from the Ahlul Sufa saying that I think we can do the ransom so they can give the money for us. Right? There's two groups of Sahaba. But he asking Rasulullah asking him saying, but what do you want? And he responded, you know who I am, my blood is very expensive. So it means that if you kill me, right, this tiny town called Medina will be wiped out from the map. Pretty much, this is what he was saying. But if you kind to me, I'm the person that will never ungrateful. Meaning that he will be ungrateful to somebody that return the favor. Right? And Rasulullah walk away. So the next day he observed Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, how Rasulullah was interacting with Sahaba, with the kid, with the wife, with the woman, all those things, right? And then he come again to Thumama and asking, what do you want? And he respond the same thing, saying that if you are kind to me, I will be very thankful, and I will return the favor upon you. And then again, he observed how Rasulullah was interacting and this is the person that, like kind of a big figure in Islam back time, but he saw how Rasulullah was so humble, sitting with the people of Holy Sufa, sitting with the people on the floor, how Rasulullah sleep and all this. So he was observing all the what they call the Sama'il Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the akhlaq Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the third day, Rasulullah was asking the same thing, and he responded exactly the same thing, and finally Rasulullah saying, just let him go. And the other two group of Sahaba was debating, right? He said that the Ahlul Sufa was saying that if you just capture him and asking money, then we are good for life. And the other Sahaba, the one that very on the life of the spectrum, saying that we should kill him, right? Because the reason why the other Sahaba was asking was him to be killed, because Rasulullah sent a messenger to all the big tribe, right? Send a message. And then the Bani Umamah, the only one that killed the messenger. Right? So imagine you send the delegation, but you kill this delegation. This is mean what? The sign of war, right? So that's why the Sahaba, the left side of Sahaba, want him to be killed, right? As the retribution for what they did for the messenger that sent by Rasulullah SAW. But Rasulullah SAW let him go, right? So he was let him go. So he was walk, right? Nobody bothering him because he was under the protection of Rasulullah. So he will walk around the city of Medina, and then after he walked for a couple of minutes, right? And then he went into there's a little oasis, and he do the wudu, because he observed how the Muslim was do the wudu, right? So he done the wudu, and he come back into the masjid, and he said, he declared the Shahada, and then he said, before I met you, he said, your face is the most, you are the most hated person that I really hate. But after seeing your face, you are the most beloved face. And Medina used to be the most hated place on the face of earth. Now this is the place that the most I believe it most. And then he asking, after he became the Muslim and all those things, he asked the permission for Rasulullah SAW, I want to perform the Umrah, right? The Umrah. And Rasulullah let him go, allowed him to go for Umrah. So when he was doing the Umrah, right? So he was circling the Tawaf, he also doing the Talbiyah, right? Labbaik Allahumma labbaik, and so on. And then the people of Quraysh was noticed his Talbiyah. And suddenly the people of Quraysh were trying to shoot him, right? Trying to arrow him from the back. And suddenly somebody from behind saying, don't kill him, you don't know who they are, right? Because he is Thumama, the leader of Yamamah. If you kill him, Quraysh will be wiped out from the face of earth. And suddenly they have the negotiation, all those things after they know that who they are, who he is. And he said that because he kind of get offensive a little bit. And he is saying that I will not let a single grain come through Makkah, right? Because his boycott, Makkah was what they call it, there's no food or anything that coming through. There was on apa itu?
Hungry. Starving.
Starving, right? They're starving. And then they sent delegation after delegation into Yamamah and asking, please let the trading passage open so the food can coming into Makkah. And then what Thumama was saying, that I will not open the gate until Rasulullah SAW give permission. And suddenly the Abu Sufyan sent a email. Send a letter to Rasulullah SAW saying, Ya Muhammad, my beloved kinship, right? Saying that you are the one that honor the family, you that honor your relationship with family. Could you please ask Thumama to open the gate and let the trading come into Makkah? And finally Rasulullah led him to open the gate and the food start coming down into Makkah. This thing is happening just because how he observed the akhlaq Rasulullah SAW, right? Not by debating. He's a very smart man. He's not debating with Rasulullah, not debating with him. right? But the way he observed, that become the whole tribe become the Muslim, right? So this is just a lesson learned for us. Again, debating with non-Muslim is not a way to getting attention of them, or not a way to bring them into the fold of Islam, but example is more effective than debating, inshallah. If Masur, there's additional, Mas Agus.
So da'wah,
Yeah.
how important?
Dakwah with knowledge. I think that's what is
Do.
knowledge and hikmah. That's important. A lot of people doing dakwah now, their share is coming from the Google, right? So the lineage of knowledge have to be validated all the way to Rasulullah. But that doesn't mean that you cannot do the da'wah, right? Because Rasulullah saying that even one ayah you should convey, but we need to know our boundary when we do the da'wah, right? Nowadays, we make the fatwa. Because we lack of knowledge, we're making the fatwa. The people of the past, for example, Imam Malik, for some time, there's some people asking questions to Imam Malik. Sometimes he take pause and he's not answered until a few days because he's afraid to make a mistake. Another scholar, I forget the name, he even to answer one simple question, you have to dig in 20 to 30 books just to get answer, right? So we have to be careful for doing the da'wah. We have to be in our capacity, right? Again, da'wah doesn't have to be you have to memorize all the Quran and convey and debating with them. And sometimes just by seeing the way we interacting, because most of the time in the office we're 8 hours with them. The kid in the school, they are more than 8 hours. It's more effective if they seeing that how we are behaved, right? I mean, there's one brother, I remember, I don't forget the name. He was always carry the water jar, right, in the office. So during the Zuhr prayer, he just take the water jar to the restroom and do the wudu and all this and come back. And then the co-worker just notice it, this water jar all the time and see him pray. And then that tickled curiosity of this person and start asking about Islam, right? So and then they didn't need to. I mean, they just want to need more. What is Islam all about? After seeing how he behaved in the office, so sometimes it's much more effective than just do the talking.
How big a